Item 49 is a professional services agreement with Stantec Consulting Services, Inc., Robert J. Campbell, Principal, in connection with the Des Moines River Flow Frequency Analysis. This is a contract not to exceed $51,000. Council Communication number 11-177. In the audience to speak on this item. None. We have a motion on item 49. Moved.
More equipment at this pump station.
Let's see, from various news outlets, and this is including the Associated Press, Chicago Tribune, Des Moines Register, and then our local television stations as well, like WHO and ABC. News of intention to raise the height of the levees 6 to 12 inches. 6 to 12 inches was due to new data provided by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Birdland has been on the waiting list for major upgrades since 1993. Rock is being laid along some areas to bolster the shorelines and prevent erosion. The Corps expects the work on Birdland will be finished this September. Cost will be about $400,000. 35% or about $130,000 of that will come out of the city's storm and sewer budget.
But this is where I think they move trucks in. And here's some more dirt to block the river, just in case.
Item 50, an agreement for the electrical services with Mid-American Energy for the Jackson Avenue Detention Basin Pump Stations project, not to exceed $48,490.78. Council Communication number 11-178. In the audience to speak on this item. Item 51 is approving the change order number 6 for the Weiss-led construction group for additional work on the Jackson Avenue Detention Basin Pump Station, not to exceed $123,885. Council Communication number 11-192. Anyone to speak on this item? None. Brian, do you want to move? Move.
7 yes.
So I also paid a visit to the Steve King Conservative Principals Conference.
On location at the Marriott Hotel, downtown Des Moines, at the Conservative Principals Conference, hosted by Congressman Steve King.
There were a lot of cameras, a lot of box lunches, lots of pounding of the keyboards in the media areas.
It's my great pleasure to introduce a friend of mine. Former State Senator Tim Reynolds was nominated to be the Republican Lieutenant Governor nominee last summer.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that introduction. My friend also. Well, good afternoon, and it is a great day to be a conservative in Iowa. Congressman King, thank you for leading the conservative fight in Washington, D.C. You were an early and enthusiastic supporter of mine, and I will never forget that. From my days as county treasurer to serving as the state senator in District 48, and ultimately when you cast my nomination for lieutenant governor on the floor of the Republican State Convention in June, I have always appreciated, valued, and have been humbled by your unwavering support.
Which is where I sat with my media credentials. I sat next to a gentleman from Fox News. I don't know his name. All I know is that he is wonderful, because that's what everyone kept saying when they came over. You're so wonderful. He did mention to a colleague that Idle Hands blog. And I don't think he meant me, though, because I'm a webcaster. But I do think that everyone kind of assumed that I was his assistant, because they kept asking me if I was a Fox girl, and I said, no, I'm Blue.Green.Fusion, which is blue-collar jobs for a green economy. And then that's when they would turn back to the guy from Fox and tell him some more about how wonderful he was.
Our time is now. Join us and put Iowa, our country, on a solid foundation of conservative principles for the future of this great state and this exceptional country that we have the honor to live in. Thank you, and God bless.
Governor Haley Barbour said we should focus more on economics than social issues. Newt Gingrich said we should focus more on social issues than economics. Lieutenant Governor Reynolds said we should forge an unapologetic conservative path. Representative Michelle Bachman said the 2012 presidential candidate should correctly diagnose the problem and the solution. By the way, she's from Iowa. She's an Iowa girl. She's an Iowan. Iowa, 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 Iowa.
105 billion, 464 million. Does anyone know what I'm referring to? This is the money that was hidden in plain sight in the Obamacare bill in order to pre-fund the implementation of Obamacare. My opinion is this. I believe that President Obama needs to give this money back to the Americans.
Iowa. Michelle Bachman also said that Chinese Prime Minister Hu is your daddy because of the size of our American debt. Ouch. Iowa.
Liberty is too important to entrust it with mere politicians. The idea of liberty is so great and yet so precious that the founders recognized it could only be entrusted to the brain trust. And that's the people of this nation. Because they understood that it was our values that were the underpinning of this nation. John Adams wrote, "It is only for a moral and religious nation, this Constitution that we write. It is wholly unsuited for any other." And that's not saying what kind of...
She also said social conservatism is fiscal conservatism. There was a slight moment of confusion when she said that, and then, yay, everybody clapped. Representative Steve King wants to rip out Obamacare by the roots like a malignant tumor. He suggests that we, I guess you and me, give undecided members of Congress a personal experience respectfully. No idea what that meant.
Successful day so far, and I expect it will continue to be that way. Hopefully you walk out of here inspired, and the people that are watching in, they also are inspired. And we never know who's going to be the spark that comes out of here that really launches something good. And I look back at my life and I can see places along the way where the road traveled would not have happened if it hadn't been for somebody that inspired me or guided me. You all are in that position to do that. And I think this is part of the process, Educate America, and see to it that we're not intoxicated by the progressives and that we should be intoxicated by liberty, as Betsy's articulated so well.
During the Q&A with Steve King, someone said we could easily solve all these problems concerning Obamacare if we just asked Obama for his birth certificate. And then while that person was speaking, someone else in the audience decided to drown him out with their own question on a related subject. King did not respond to the request for Obama's birth certificate.